Hello, everyone's. We are back with another episode of
Is my point valid? Valid.
Yes, indeed. I am Brandon D. Stocker,
And I am Camille A. Stocker.
and together, as a family, we stock our family values. Yes, indeed. Y'all need to check us out. But we're gonna go ahead and get this started
Right now?
with what you know good.
What you know good.
What you know
right.
good.
So this ain't really good, but it's on
Not
my
at
what
all.
you know good list because this is happening right now as we speak. It's brewing. Hurricane Ida in Louisiana. It's coming. It's scary. People are evacuating. People are making their way into Texas, making their way into other cities
They making their way out of
Louisiana.
They going north, south, east, and west. They go in whatever direction. Well, they ain't going south. They going north, east, and west.
Because of Hurricane Ida. And this was, is it been 16 years since Hurricane Katrina? And Hurricane Katrina was, whoa.
Devastating.
I remember being in band, and my band teacher was all like, we still gonna practice. But then it ended up our practice had to be canceled because it was like a hell of a storm coming.
Down.
But they're saying Hurricane Ida is going to be worse than Hurricane Katrina.
They say it's gonna be the worst thing that hit Louisiana.
This is a Category 4 hurricane.
150-mile-per-hour
Winds right now. The storm hasn't even
hit land yet.
Landed, but it's 150 miles per hour winds are. And so that's like, now what I read was if you didn't leave within that mark of when they told you to leave, you kind of like stuck. And I'm like,
man,
my goodness. And then there was a video of people, that bridge in that you're coming out of going into Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is it called? We always just say the bridge
going in. The bridge that comes in and out of
That's
Louisiana.
all we say.
That's what we call it.
If y'all know what it's called, let us know. I could use Google, huh? So I'm praying for everyone who is coming out of Louisiana, who may be staying in Louisiana. I pray that they are covered because it's supposed to
go down,
hit hard. And I just pray that God covers everyone.
Yes, goodness. I do have one what you know good.
What you got?
I don't got no mask on.
That's why we were missing last week. I was like, I am not.
Man, it feels good to be. I still wear my mask when I'm out, but it feels good to not have to wear a mask in the house.
Oh my gosh,
Lord
the
have
girls
mercy.
Celebrated when you showed me your negative thing. We and the girls did like a happy dance, like whoop 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 whoop. It was so stressful, and you don't like
14
days. And why I'm saying it's stressful is because we spent a whole year together. But we were just free, and if we needed to go outside, we could go outside. In this case, we couldn't go out. We had to stay in our space together. And I know it was frustrating for you because you were the one with COVID. It was frustrating for me because it was like I can't move the way I want. We couldn't move, and so it was 14 days. It was like, oh my God.
It was 14 days.
14 whole days. And I didn't realize it went quickly, but it was still like, this is not it. And you waking up and putting on a mask. As much as I moisturized as well, I don't know if you had any issues going on. Like, as much as I was moisturizing, it was still like dry. And I was like, man, they got these children in this school all day. But anyway.
Another conversation for another time.
So it's like, I'm in my home wearing it. So it's just like, but I'm so glad you're better.
Me too. hey. Yeah.
I'm so glad you are better.
Yes,
things are
indeed.
Normal now.
They're back more
to
Normalish.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
What else you got on what you know good, baby?
all right, so real quick, Aaliyah's catalog, the one in us, is coming out slowly, and I was against it at first because I'm like, the family didn't back it, and I don't know where the funds were going like that. And at first, I was like, I'm not going to partaketh in um her music, but I was like, I want to listen to Aaliyah. Let me
Her
tell,
music's nowhere.
her music was nowhere. Her music was nowhere on no streaming service.
Mm.
So I'm not promoting, but I use Spotify. That's who I use. And I was like, let me go get this some music. And I was in the shower washing my hair, and I had a whole concert. Do you hear me? I was like, I'm sending him a full
Oh.
page. I was like, oh my gosh. And so mind you, when that album came out, I was only 6. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I know all of these words? But then I was like, my daddy would used to buy the CDs and stuff, so I'm like, that's how I know the songs. But yeah, so if y'all listen to it, what was one of your favorite songs? Are you not gonna listen to it because you don't know who's benefiting from it? Because now I don't think I'm gonna listen to it anymore. I got my little groove,
Oh.
my little taste of it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, now I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't know how much I
Alright.
missed it, her, But so next up on my what you know good, I watched the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix, and that was
was
really
Who
Bob
was
Ross,
Bob
the
Ross?
painter.
Oh, okay,
They
okay.
didn't-
That
no-
guy with
no relation
the
to
afro.
at the afro. It was very,
Yeah.
very interesting to know some facts about him. So if you're interested in that, interested in like his journey, how he became a painter, who owns his company, which is really interesting. People see like the good, but we don't know the bad
What's happening
and what's
behind them
happening or who's
scenes?
helping us and who's taking our money and all that.
Yes, goodness.
All right. So my last what you know good,
Oh.
which goes into our topic for today. Um I started homeschool up
You
again
started this year
this
of
year.
your
Yes,
homeschool
this
year.
year.
Yeah.
On August 16th, and as of tomorrow, we'll be heading into week 3. I'm so excited. So, yeah.
I'm so excited.
If y'all got that, it's Austin Powers. It says I'm so excited. But yeah, we started homeschooling on August 16th. Yeah. So you want to get in?
Yes, goodness. So we're gonna go ahead and, like she was saying, the topic for the day is going to be.
Homeschooling with Camille.
Uh, yeah, so we're just gonna give y'all a little introduction of what she has going on, a few tips,
Mm-hmm.
some tricks,
Mm-hmm.
and all of
I
that.
won't give you too many of my tricks.
Yes, a few. She's gonna explain what makes her system flow.
I don't even know.
Huh? The
Honest,
modesty.
no, I'm not being modest.
Huh.
People might say I'm being modest, but I don't know. I just do. Honestly, I do a lot of research. I know people. I'm in a lot of groups, a lot of homeschooling groups. Not a lot. The minimum is I'm probably in 4 homeschooling groups, and I see different things. One is for melanin mamas. One is a mixture of people. One is like not melanin people. Um, and then one is I think like a nut like the area that I live in. But I watch people and I watch what they put out, what a curriculum they're using, and I'm like, that ain't for me. That's how I weed things out. A lot of people don't work like that. Their minds don't go like that. They just be like, first thing they do, they get in a group and be like, what curriculum are you using? Is it working for you?
Yeah.
Um,
They want to take the easy ride.
um and so but what I've learned from watching, from looking, from studying, because it is, I think anything that you are like passionate about, you must study.
Yeah.
You have to see, okay, well, this person, and really I look at people who have been doing it like 15 plus years, and and they have graduated their children, and their children are in college. Like, mind you, people don't know that your kid can go through homeschool and still go to college and be this awesome
Scholar.
person. Yeah, be this
Yeah.
awesome person. Um, and so I'm looking at them like, whoa, and then I only have two. Some of these ladies have like
Multiple.
6 and 7, and I'm like,
Multiples.
wow, y'all homeschooled, like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of research, and then I use my common sense. Then I look at my children and say, what type of learners are they? Because every child does not learn the same.
Not at all.
Um,
And that's why a lot of kids struggle in public schools.
because they're teaching you this one way. Um, So I think of one of the first facts that I do want to say, because we are in Texas. I'm a Texas homeschool mama. Um, Texas is, I say, it's an easy state to homeschool in because there's not a lot of restrictions. There's not a lot of things that you have to do. You don't have to keep a binder full of the work to show somebody. It's not necessary. Also, even with the withdrawing of your child, all you have to do is go up to the school, say I'm withdrawing. You don't have to say I'm homeschooling. You don't have to be like, well, this is what I'm doing. And if they ask you a question, all you have to say is, I want to withdraw my child. You
Absolutely.
stand firm in, what you want to do.
Absolutely.
The curriculum, though, in your curriculum in Texas, you must have reading, spelling, grammar, math, and good citizenship. Look, it doesn't say anything about science. It doesn't
Nothing.
say anything about history. Now, look at how Texas is going in public school right now. They're trying to eliminate how history is being taught.
Mm.
So,
One benefit of homeschooling,
homeschooling,
you can teach your kids what needs to be taught.
what you feel needs to be taught. So I include in my curriculum, and I'll tell you about my curriculum in a little bit. What I do, sorta, is I include science and I include history. I include, of course, spelling and the grammar and the math and the reading. I include phonics. Um, but I really, really, really push. I don't know why, but I really push history a lot and science a lot. I guess because of STEM, because you do want the science, the technology, the engineering, and the mathematics. Girls don't, and I have girls, so you want them to be like, okay, you want to know how to code or you want to
Yeah.
know how to do this. And I also push a lot of reading. Anything that we do, I'm going to buy a book and we're going to read. I have been watching a lady, and she reads to her children. Her children read, and it's like I I've always understood the importance of books, but now being able to homeschool my children and teach them, they are seeing the power of, hey, you open up a book, you're seeing things that other people aren't seeing. And a book is a powerful thing. A book has a lot of, a lot of people be like, I don't like to read. And Ava, if we want to be, Ava does not really like to read. She likes for me to read to her.
She likes to hear.
She likes to hear it. And I'm okay with that. I'll read, and they say I'm dramatic with the reading. But books are
Very enthusiastic is what I would say.
well, I don't
I'm
want to
sorry.
be like
Bland.
bland. And
Johnny went to the store.
and I get loud, and I'm like, I know my neighbors are like, what
Yeah.
is wrong with that lady in there? But I try and do it so that they stay interested and they stay just in it. And so yeah, it's a lot of reading, spelling, grammar, correcting them and how to speak, like, and all of that. So yeah, it really all depends on you and what you would want to do with homeschooling. Of course, add those things in, um, and then you want to make it fun. The whole point of homeschooling, I feel, is where I messed up on my first week because I forgot. I was trying to have it like a school environment.
You don't have to do what the school is doing.
I was trying to have it bam, bam, bam. And this is this. And I was like, this, it was so overwhelming to me.
They have a schedule because they're in a certain amount of time. They need to do a certain amount of things.
Yeah.
So you are not bound.
Right. I
By
messed
that.
up on I have to be like honest with myself and tell myself, okay, you messed up, but next week fix it. Or, you know, this. And because I had also let them pick their own schedule. So when Ava started, she was starting with math and Isabel was starting with reading. And it wasn't allowed that the schedule that they were picking for themselves wasn't allowing me to really focus on Ava and math. It was like, okay, I got to read to Isabel because she needs, she needs this story read. And so then this last week, the second week, I feel it was a whole lot better. They were at the table, just it was looser to me. I don't know if you gathered that or
Yeah, it did seem a little more smooth.
fun. Yeah, it was like we went back to the OG, like what we were doing when we started last September all the way into May. And but I don't know what happened that first week. That first week was rough.
Well, it could have been a combination of things because we were in the mass and the stress of all of that
You're right.
could have played a part in. It could have rolled over into
You're
your
right.
homeschooling.
You're right. So another
Not being able to sleep.
not being able to sleep, not being yeah, you're right.
All of that.
Stressing. It was I that was stressing about some things as
Mhm.
well. What else is something that I incorporate? I do scripture. We do like Bible scriptures, and I love this part. This part gets me going. It really gets me going.
It gets my
There you
blood
go.
flowing.
I really enjoy this because this gives them a chance to learn their Bibles. I purchased them Bibles, so they get to learn their Bibles, learn how the if it's in the Old Testament, if it's in the New Testament. And then they also, in the beginning of the book, like say we're reading Psalms, at the beginning of the book, it'll say like, who is it written by and all that. And so they know who wrote it.
It gives you all the little
It
fun
gives you
facts.
all the fun facts, and
Yeah.
I love that. And Isabel had I say she has a thing for Paul because Paul wrote a lot of the books in the New Testament.
That's her boy.
That's her man. She be like, it's Paul. I know Paul, and so they know like that. And then the devotional that comes with it, and it has the science with it, but it doesn't put science above God or anything like that. It's showing, okay, God created animals and animals are, stuff like that. So I really enjoy that. And then I enjoy the affirmations, and they get so loud with it. I'm telling you, we're loud, and I'm like, goodness, we're loud. But I feel like the loudness is necessary because it allows them to just
Express themselves.
like, hey, if you want to be loud, be loud.
Ain't no need to say no affirmation like I'm talking right now.
Yeah, I am beautiful. Nah, how you saying? How
I'm
you
not
saying
convinced.
that? I am beautiful, right? So we do affirmations, and then should I tell them about like what we do every day? Like,
Sure.
meaning. Or like, how do you feel about this whole process? Before I say, like, how do you feel
About the homeschooling?
Yeah, because he's the principal.
Yeah. Sometimes I gotta write people up.
Ah.
But no, I just feel like it being, and I say this a lot, but being your child's first line of education is important. Not having the outside influence constantly in their ear gives us more control over what they're learning and what they do. So I'm all for it. It's a lot of crazy things going on today in these schools, and COVID just to touch on it. COVID is one of them.
Yeah.
But as far as just people trying to figure out themselves, parents trying to help kids figure out themselves, and all that whole process is rather.
It's interesting because you now I read that homeschooling is up like
Oh yeah,
up, but and it's
because
really
people are
because
tired of
no
of.
people this is me thinking. I think people are tired of COVID. I don't think people are tired of teachers, right? I
Oh no,
think
I wouldn't say they were tired.
no, I'm saying, but here's what I do know. When you do pull your child out and withdraw, you need to make sure that they are learning something. Even if you're not sure, because if you are not sure that you can do it, and a lot of the homeschool groups that I am in, they will say you as their mother or if you are the parent, you are qualified to teach your child.
Absolutely,
I've read that
that's your child.
right, you know your child best. I've read that they homeschooling children test better than children in public school.
Mm.
I think it was like 70% higher. I'm not
It's a
sure.
difference between a child learning something and a child remembering something.
Mm,
The
that's
school
true.
system is all about remembering. So you
Retaining
can
information. Yeah.
use that same information to apply it to a test.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of parents are pulling children out because of COVID. That was never our case. We were trying to get it. COVID just came, and that just so happened to fall
Yeah,
in line with the
it helped the decision making
yeah, because
process.
I wanted to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I was scared. I didn't know it's easy in Texas. I didn't know I could come up with my own curriculum. I didn't know that I didn't have to do exactly like a classroom is, and that I'm stressing on. Well, I need this and this and this. No, they need to be reading or doing math or something. That
Hmm.
everything else that you want is not as important as just your child teaching and learning. And they also have this thing called like life learning. Like you go out in the world and things like that.
Incorporate real
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So, real quick, every day we do 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 9:30 to 1:30. Last week we were pushing it until Ava was still working until like I don't know. She was in her zone, so she was working on a project, but I didn't want to bother her. I was done at 1:30. I'm like clocked out because I have to get ready for the next day. But
Hmm.
on Mondays there's this thing where I do Monday blues, and that's everything that they learned from the week before. They will do a review on it, and if they get that wrong, then we gonna double up and go over it again. On Tuesdays are scientific Tuesdays, which are obvious. We do science. We come in. We doing some type of science experiment. On Wednesdays they bake. There's a song on my Instagram, and then
It's
time
time
to
to bake.
bake, bake, bake.
It's time to bake. Oh, what we're baking today.
um, so
Yeah.
I love it. And then we also do Poetry Wednesday. I love poetry.
Poetry.
So I have a lot of poetry books that we're going to get into. We're going to be writing a lot of poetry. So get ready. But Poetry Wednesdays. So on Thursdays are historical Thursdays, which we're gonna go into history. We're learning our presidents one at a time, getting as
Hmm.
much information about them as we can. I'm not sugarcoating anything. They need to know
Who these
who
people
these
are.
people are, how they made
Truly.
what they contributed to America,
What they took away.
what they took away from
Huh.
America, what Black people contributed, what Asians contributed. I want them to know about everybody. It's just not I am pro Black all day, every day. Do you understand? But they need to know about how everybody played a role in the United States of America.
Absolutely. Pro black doesn't mean anti anything.
Boom, boom, boom. And I am trying to teach. I'm not trying. I am teaching my children that. And you need to learn. You need to know trigger word. People know our trigger words, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know other people's trigger words or this or what was happening. And do you know Japanese people were in internment camps and here in Texas? Like, you don't know that. I learned that in a college class, and I was 28 years old. So I need I want my children to know that at 8 and 6, and know that, okay, this is we're the black people weren't the only one slaves. Like, that's the type of stuff. So on Historical Thursdays, that's what we're going through.
Huh.
And then on Fridays, it's an Epic Friday where they read, and we also learn about our Black Person of the Week. And I enjoy this the most because they take it in. We read, like I said, we read a lot. I'm reading them information. And Isabel will raise her hand. Both of them raise their hands, but they raise their hands to get and like ask questions to get more information. And I love it. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. So I am enjoying this homeschool journey. I get real excited when I find a new book, when my brain clicks, is like, ooh, do this. Like this week we're doing a book called Lily's Plastic Purse, and I have to whisper because they're in there, but I've purchased 2 purses for them to have an activity in math to do with it. And I'm so excited. But yeah. So I get to make up these activities and print out things and yeah.
You can do what you want to do.
Yeah. So and
it's your curriculum.
My curriculum, whatever I do, and then also they're first and third grade, but they don't have to kind of stay in that. Isabel's a little advanced. Ava's a little advanced in some areas. So it's like, hey, let's move on. You don't have to stay. You have to stay on something as a unit in public school, as a class, until somebody gets it. And if you still don't get it, you kind of out of luck. Well, with homeschooling with Camille, that's not how that works. If you don't get it, we gonna go over it until you get it. We gonna keep incorporating it until you have your aha moment of, okay, now I get it. So that's how I want things to operate. Now, people say I do it with ease or I have a lot of patience. I might have a lot of patience, but it is difficult. It's hard because you are with your children all day. You are being the parent. You are being the teacher. It's a little tiring. But I tell you what, on Fridays when the girls are talking or if I hear them say something, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. So every Friday I do a video, and I will be posting my videos on YouTube from now on. So if you're interested in what we're doing, what books I have, I will be doing hauls on, book hauls on what I've purchased. Activities that I might have created. So I want to share with you and allow you to grow and allow you to understand my homeschool journey, our homeschool journey.
Absolutely.
Because it's not what you think or what you thought it was. You see it as, well, you're isolating your children or they're not social. That's not true. So every week I want to give you a little
something.
Homeschooling with Camille.
A little something.
A little something.
Well, we done talked about.
I don't know. Did I give enough information?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
If anybody needs any more information, they can definitely reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions, anything like that?
Yeah. If you know somebody who is interested, who wants to begin, and they don't know where to start, I can point you in the right direction. I can.
If you don't know which way to go, follow her.
Hey.
Yes, indeed. But before we get up out of here, y'all know we got to hit them in the head one time on this day in Black History. Yes, goodness. It's a pretty good one.
That's a wonderful one. What you talking?
I put pretty in front of good, so that means it's real good.
Man, it's amazing.
So, on this day, August 30th, in 1967, Thurgood Marshall was confirmed as the first African American Supreme Court justice on this day, today, in 1967. Yes, he was. So, this story is going to be coming from BET.com once again. We get a lot of our stories from BET.com. They seem to be a great source for black information, even though they're not owned by black people anymore. But anyway.
Message. Okay.
Message. Sorry. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Distinguished civil rights attorney Thurgood Marshall made history again on August 30th, 1967. Today, when he became the first African American confirmed on the U.S. Supreme Court. Before his nomination, he was successfully argued against school segregation in groundbreaking Brown versus Board of Education and won nearly 30 other cases before his high court. After the Senate vote of 69-11, with 20 mostly Southern Democrats abstaining, Marshall was sworn in 2 days later. I believe it was the right thing to do, the right time, and the right man in the right place, said President Lyndon Johnson, who in 1961 had unsuccessfully tried to seat Marshall on the U.S. Court of Appeals. And that was on this day in Black history. Yes, indeed. So we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Any questions, concerns about getting into homeschooling, curriculums, activities, anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to Miss Camille.
I'll answer you. I will.
Yeah.
I have.
She ain't gonna high side on you.
I might. No, I'm not.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We appreciate everyone. Like always, continue to tune in, continue to support us. Please subscribe to our page. That's going to help us grow. That's going to help the algorithm help us be seen by more people, because a lot of people need to hear this information, and the conversations are very engaging. So is my point valid? Is where you need to be. We're going to holler at y'all next Monday with a hot new topic. So until then, y'all be easy. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.